What's going on, guys? Suicide Squad. Biggest August box office opening ever. But the critics were so down on it that the fans wanted to shut down Rotten Tomatoes. What do we make of all this? And what effect do we think it'll have on the DCU going forward? We're gonna talk about that very thing today. And we have our own little Suicide Squad to talk about it with. Hey guys, first, it's his first time on the show. He's one of the co-hosts of the ETC show, and he's a voice in the new Transformers Combiner Wars. Welcome, Ricky Hebert.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited.
I can't believe it's her first time on the show.
Yeah.
She's one of the co-hosts of Summer Movie Report and from FX Movie Download. Welcome, Sasha Pearl Raver.
Thank you. That's very sweet that you call me one of the co-hosts, because it's actually Summer Movie Report with Dan Murrell. So I'm just proud to be in the same sentence.
A correspondent.
Yes, indeed.
And this handsome young fellow is one of the writers of Honest Trailers and an all-around swell guy. Welcome back, Joe Starr.
Thank you, Hal.
So, Suicide Squad. It was a huge opening. Critics were divided. You guys all saw it first. What are your thoughts?
I don't think the critics were divided as much as they were all just like completely bashing the movie, and I think it was justified. I mean, the first time I watched it, I was really excited. I was so pumped. I was sitting there like a little boy on his birthday, and then it happened, and I was like, this isn't what I wanted at all.
But you saw it again.
I saw it a second time. I did see it a second time. I was like, there has to be some redeeming factors here. And you know what? I liked it a lot more the second time. Going in, having the lowest expectation, knowing what happens, I was able to find things that I liked and find things about characters that I originally liked in the first screening that I liked more.
But you had to mine for it a little bit. Sasha, where did you stand right out of the gate?
This is insane. I'm still so shocked that people have been so dismissive of this film. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Yes, the villain sucks. Mm-hmm. Yes, there are third act problems. But
here's the concessions.
If you walk out of a film and the overarching thing is, how did it make me feel? How it made me feel was, I want another one.
Joe Starr, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Suicide Squad?
This movie was awful. It was poorly paced. It was a million different cooks in the kitchen trying to go in different directions. It had some great performances that, quite frankly, it did not deserve to have. Weirdly, this was my favorite Will Smith role because he was good.
He was great.
It was this great combination of Welcome to Earth Will Smith and serious business actor Will Smith that I loved, and this movie did not deserve it.
I think we have a pretty good mix here. We have someone who was on the fence about the movie and found stuff to like about it, someone who really liked the movie, and someone who was not pleased. Great, so that's a good mix. Let's talk a little bit. I want to talk about where DC and Warner goes from here. Do they listen to the critics? Do they hear their clarion call and like, oh, we got to change the way we make these movies? Or is the box office the final arbiter of this, and they're like, oh yeah, the movie's making money?
Well, the movie's not making as much money as they hoped. I mean, I think everybody hoped that it would open at about 140, so it was about $5 million below that. Still, I think that they're already making so many adjustments. Like, we've seen the Wonder Woman trailer. That looks rad. We've seen the Justice League trailer. That looks rad. What?
No, I think Wonder Woman looks great. I think Justice League, I don't have the faith that I would have had a year ago in it.
I actually like the Justice League trailer. I was surprised, but I like funny Bruce Wayne. He reminds me of Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne. You know, write him a grant. You know, that Bruce Wayne was super fun to me. As far as the future of the DC universe, I think they've already been listening to critics and they're making these decisions. They've put Jeff Johns in charge. Suicide Squad was mostly done by the time they really started doing the shuffle. So maybe it's me just being way too hopeful, but now my line of thinking is, well, now the Jeff Johns DC movies start and things will start to clean up a little bit.
How much do we think the world of Suicide Squad is going to factor into Justice League?
I think that if the Suicide Squad comes back, it's definitely going to be more about Harley Quinn. I think we're going to have more of the Joker. I don't think that the Jared Leto stuff was all that we're going to see. I wonder, though, with Will Smith, I think you have to go with the lesser characters. I'm glad that Jai Courtney showed up and made me fall in love with him in a way that he never has before, because I've never understood how people felt like they could rest a franchise on his shoulders.
I liked his performance. I didn't feel like Captain Boomerang factored in a lot.
But that's why I think he's the kind of, you can't get Will Smith to come in to Justice League and be seventh fiddle or eighth fiddle to those other characters. You can get Jai Courtney to do that, and I think that that makes more sense.
I think the Suicide Squad moving forward, though, you've got these really strong characters that were strong, I think, more because of performance than anything else. And, you know, you take Harley Quinn, you take Deadshot, you can move them into these other franchises, you can move them into their own movies. I'd watch 6 Will Smith Deadshot movies.
Yeah.
today.
I'd love to hear each of your thoughts. How do you think Suicide Squad is going to proceed going forward? Are they going to be divided and peppered into the DCU overall? Or do you think we'll see that Suicide Squad pop up in other movies, a Suicide Squad 2, maybe even a Justice League versus Suicide Squad?
I think they learned their lesson about verse movies. I don't think anybody
No,
wants...
they learned the lesson about V movies.
You're right. You're absolutely
This
right.
would be a completely different
Yeah,
thing.
it's totally VS.
Yeah.
It's VS. I really hope it's not, because I think that they will succeed the most when it is sort of a unified front and they're going against, hopefully, a stronger villain. I will admit that the villains in general have not been great. But I think that they'll pepper in the smaller characters in different ways, sort of like how we have the Flash showing up for like one quick little second because, you know, he's available. It's harder to get Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa costs more money.
To go against the fact that they would face each other, I think they did way too much work in Suicide Squad to make them relatable and to make them feel more human and for you to enjoy them as characters, to just put them against. That would be a really bad move if they had them fight, I think. But I think peppering them in, like, even if Will Smith doesn't show up, but it's Deadshot with the mask on and he shows up in Justice League and like takes out a high-value target or something like that that they need help with,
Sure.
that could work.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, and taking a look from Warner Brothers, you now have 3 films that have underperformed critically and have done decent, maybe a little less than they would have hoped at the box office. Do you just keep going saying, hey, these critics, they don't get us, man. They don't get me. I'm just going to live in my mom's basement and play my guitar, man, and smoke weed. No, the critic, are they going to just say the critics don't get us? Or are they going to try to adjust and be like, yeah, let's bring more people into the fold. Let's try to get some critical good grace in regards to our future films?
I think they already are. I think that with especially Wonder Woman, we're really seeing that shift toward, we want to make prestige films, we want to stand toe-to-toe with Marvel, and we want to do better things. But I think the thing that has really raised the bar more than anything was Deadpool. I think Deadpool shifted the playing field in a way that now we're going to start seeing in a much bigger and more resonant way.
They want to do good movies. I just don't think that they found their footing this time around, and I don't think that they're going to give up. I think they're going to see it through. But I don't think they're really going to have another like Christopher Nolan style DC movie in this universe that they're building right now.
I've been so excited about this movie. I want all of these movies to do well. When those first Joker promo images came out and everyone went, what's this? I was like, shut up, guys. It's going to be rad. We're all fans. And if Warner Brothers were to cling to this idea that, like, because they're doing it in talking points, well, we made this for the fans. Well, those fans aren't going to make you the money that you want to be making. They're not going to keep these films successful in the theater as long as you want them there. You know, they wanted Batman vs. Superman to be running forever.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And so they need to do some quality control and really kind of get everybody back on board, because you have extreme fans that are going to love DC movies no matter what, that are going to love Marvel movies no matter what.
The movies are always going to turn a profit.
Yeah, they're always going to turn a profit, but they're not always going to do what the studio needs them to do.
Oh, yeah, they want to destroy worldwide box office.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that they don't get for some reason is that it's 2016 and a lot of these critics are huge DC fanboys and they want these movies to be good, and when they aren't as good as they should be, that's what makes people upset.
Well, but then you have to think about one thing, which is my biggest concern, which is trying to please everyone. The thing is when you see a Marvel movie, you know what you're getting. When you see an Adam Sandler movie, you know what you're getting. So there just has to be a clear vision, because when Nolan was making his Dark Knight trilogy, he wasn't thinking, I have to please everyone. Same with Zack Snyder. The problem is no one stepped in to say, okay, you don't have to please everyone, but you have to please more than just yourself.
Final question. Jeff Johns calls you personally and says, I want one piece of advice going forward about what we should do with the DCU. What do you say? Let's go right down the line. Ricky.
Make Zack Snyder director of photography and give the directing duties to some great up-and-coming people, like the way that Star Wars and Marvel is doing.
Nice.
Hire Lord and Miller and trust your franchises to them for at least 2 movies.
Ooh, yeah.
Give me a sword and sorcery medieval demon knights movie.
Wow, a road less traveled. Where do you want to see the DCU go? How did you feel about Suicide Squad, critics versus box office? Let us know in the comments section below. We want to know. I got to thank this awesome panel. Ricky, thank you for coming by. Oh, Sasha, what a pleasure. Joe, yeah, I love you, buddy. Thank you for watching. I'm Hal Rudnick. Hit me up on Twitter. Bye-bye.
In a world where every network spends millions to get the attention of Emmy voters, the only way we knew how to build hype for our own Emmy nomination was to make fun of the TV shows the voters work on. Wait, go back. We got nominated for an Emmy? Like an Emmy? That's awesome! But wait, then why are we making fun of all their shows? This is a terrible idea, you guys.